good morning, good afternoon, good evening,
Good
everybody.
afternoon.
This is Kiro Riri Paddle, and today I'm sitting down with Kai. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today? I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you on. You're an awesome cosplayer, and when I came across your profile, I was like, yes, this is someone who I need to line up, I need to speak with them, and I'm happy that you're here.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know people thought about that about my cosplay. Thank you.
So let's get right into it. Do you think you could tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, my name is Kai. I'm a cosplayer in the GTA. Well, right now I'm not very active since of the pandemic, but my favorite series to cosplay would be Fate Grand Order, One Piece. What else? So far, I've been very focused on those two. I would say my favorite series at this moment would be One Piece. Like right now, I'm just all about One Piece right now. Besides that, I just spend most of my time playing Final Fantasy Online, and that's about it.
Yeah, I feel like all cosplayers are a little inactive right now because there's nothing going on. But,
Yeah.
gaming is always fun, anime is always fun, it passes the time, right?
Yep.
And you're obviously a big One Piece fan. I mentioned right before the interview that I appreciate your Chopper plushie.
Yes, I love One Piece so much. You can't see it, but I have a whole shelf, and it's just One Piece figures.
Oh, you're a huge fan then.
I really like One Piece. I picked it up again during the pandemic because I realized I don't have anything else to do. And what's the best way to kill time? Watch One Piece. There's like almost 1,000 episodes. I know the chapters are. I know the manga is ahead, but I know for episodes it's like 900 and something. It's best way to kill time.
Absolutely. It will take a person years to get through One Piece, truly.
It might take me the whole pandemic to catch up.
Hey, it's okay. What else are we going to do, right?
It's true. There's nothing else to do.
So, how did you get into cosplay?
I got, I remember I was in high school and I didn't start cosplaying in high school, but I went to my first anime north in high school. I would say grade 9. And I just went for fun. And I didn't know things like that existed. I'm like, oh my God, there's people who like things like me. And there's people who actually dress up and there's booths and merch I can buy. Like it was like a culture shock to me. I was so shook. I was like, oh my God, dude, people dress up, people have booths. Like I just thought it was amazing. And ever since that day, I was just so inspired. I was just like, one day I'm gonna do this too. And I think I briefly tried to do it. I would say grade 10 or 11. It wasn't that good. It was awful because there was no resources during that time. I cosplayed L from Death Note.
Ooh, classic character.
It was not good, but it was the easiest thing I can do with the white long sleeve, the jeans, and I used my own hair. It was not good. I deleted so many It was so bad. When I look back at that, I was like, oh my gosh. But after high school, I would say I got a little more into it. I would say how many years after high school? I would say 4 years after high school. I sort of jumped back and said, you know what, let me try this again. At the time, I had like a job and I had money, and there was a little more resources during that time, a little more, like a fan base. Like there's like tutorials on YouTube. I would see it like more on social media. I had a little more access to it. And I remember my first proper cosplay was actually, it was 2B from Nier.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes, I really loved the Nier series. Yeah, my first cosplay was 2B. Surprisingly, I was actually surprised I did 2B. But after playing that video game, like I cried. Like, that game was sad. I was just like, I have to cosplay from this series. It made me so sad. And to my surprise, my 2B got a lot of like it got like more attention than I expected, and I wasn't used to it. And I didn't really try hard at the time, and I just put my stuff on. I said, okay, let's go. And I didn't think that would be the gateway for me to enter the community, make so many friends, cosplayer and photographer wise. Like, ever since that day, it's been a whole life changer for me.
Something that I feel cosplayers coming up today didn't necessarily experience during, like, I guess where we have an era that overlaps, is that if you came as a character that was maybe like off the cuff or not super popular, then a lot of people would appreciate your cosplay. Nowadays, I feel like you're taking a stronger risk if you don't cosplay as whatever the more popular characters are of the season or of the time. I've spoken to some other people on my channel as well, and they even say they're wary of what characters they'll put onto their social media, because if the series isn't popular, they're not going to get the traction that they want.
Yes, this is a topic I complain to myself every day. Like, there's a lot of characters I like that aren't very popular, and every day I debate. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. But then when I post it, I notice it doesn't get a lot of traffic, and it doesn't make me sad, but it's just like, oh damn, it's really like this, huh? It's tough out here. But I give respect to people who they don't care, and they just put it on, and they're just like, you know what, I like this character, whatever, here we go. Like, before Chainsaw Man became big, if you know that manga, before that became big, I did a cosplay of Aki, and oh my gosh, the traffic was horrible. No one knew what I was, but I was happy with it. I was really happy with it though. So I was just like, whatever, I'm happy with it. This is for me. But it is really hard to take a risk with characters that people don't know. And I want to try and do that more, just to cosplay whatever I want. And I do that, but it's just difficult. It's difficult sometimes.
No, I feel you on that. I don't really know how to word it to someone who hasn't lived through the era of cosplay not being mainstream or popular, but cosplay should be about what you love and the characters you love. And I have no doubt that cosplayers of today, they are passionate about what they do, but I also feel that the content you want to put out there should be a reflection of your passion. And if you're not going to post something because you know it's not going to get the attention that you're looking for, to me at least, it feels like an aspect of cosplay has been lost. And now it's more so about, what do other people think about me? I'm cosplaying for other people instead of cosplaying for yourself.
Yeah, I feel that these days. I see a lot of cosplayers, and they just cosplay what's popular. Like, let's say, for example, we had a phase where everyone did 02. Like, we have phases like that. There's a lot of copy and paste people who are just like, hey, I'm here for the clout, I'm here for the likes, I'm here to promote myself. Let me just do cosplays that's popular. And if you like that character, like, okay, bet. But some people, they just do it for the clout. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I sit there, and I'm like, I wish more people would cosplay what they truly want to cosplay, despite the character not being popular or not. Because there are plenty of series that I love that aren't popular. Like, I'm not super into mainstream anime. Like, there's a few I like, but mostly I watch animes that a lot of people don't know about. And I want to see more of an uprising of that, more of people just cosplaying what they feel like instead of what they feel pressure to do. I feel like once we start doing that, I think the community it'll improve a little more.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you. And maybe when conventions start back up, we'll have that wave of people who are more comfortable cosplaying what they want to. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, even what you said about Chainsaw Man, I absolutely love Chainsaw Man. I think it's a fantastic manga. I like it a lot. There's not much more I can say about it. But
It is amazing.
it is. It truly is. But at the same time, I like newer anime fans, they kind of get to me because like they put so much emphasis on, oh my god, Chainsaw Man's going to be the biggest anime adaptation when it comes out, and like they did the same thing with Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't really like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I don't think it's a bad series, but I just don't think it's that great. And I know people who also felt the same way about me when Jujutsu Kaisen first started off, and now that the anime is so huge and you go on their cosplay pages, they're cosplaying as JJK characters, and it's like, I know, like, 2 months before you did not like this series, so the fact that you're now into the cosplay, you're doing it just because that's what the current wave is. You like, and it makes me wonder how many people claim to like the animes that they're tweeting about or they're talking about on social media, but they're only doing it so they can get that attention. And you know, clout is a drug, and for some people cosplay is a career, so maybe they go hand in hand, but I don't know. I just feel like it kind of sullies what it means to be an anime fan and a cosplay fan. But that's kind of pessimistic.
About Jujutsu Kaisen though, I can agree with that. Like, I like Jujutsu Kaisen, but I feel like the anime, like the episodes now, it's not a good portrayal of it, because when you read the manga and when you read it like more in depth, it actually gets pretty good. I personally like, it's not like, I agree with you, it's not the most mind-blowing like anime, but in my opinion, if you read the manga and you just get deeper into it, it gets a lot better. Like, recently I did a cosplay of a character who's not in the, he's not in the anime, he's in the manga. He's my favorite character. Like, I won't spoil it, but Toji is great. He is great. He's Megumi's father. He's just awful, but he's great.
I'm up to date. I think I'm like maybe 1 or 2 chapters behind, but that's what I will agree with. The manga of JJK gets progressively better. Yeah, it does get better. And I think when the anime gets to the point where it's at now, like, you know, spoiler alert, I'll put spoiler tags in my video. The Shinjuku incident, like that arc, is very good, and I think the arc that they're in right now is also going to be really good. I think the flashback arc or whatever, all of that is just such good storytelling, but I don't know, I just feel like the hype is hype that AOT was getting, and I like AOT as well, but I don't think it was worthy of the hype that it was getting. So for me, it kind of ruins the fan base thing. But I don't know, I'm trying not to be a gatekeeper.
I don't know. I really like when Attack on Titan came out, the new season. I really enjoyed it. I remember when I saw the opening, and I was like, oh my! I was so shook. I'm not caught up with the manga, so I don't know what happened at the end. I know there was people who were like, oh, this is great, and there's another split of people who are like, oh, this is bad, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess I'll figure out eventually.
Yeah, better to wait it out.
Better to wait it out, but I really like Attack on Titan. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, it's really good. I really like it.
Let's talk about conventions. You mentioned that grade 9 was the first time you went to a convention, yes?
Yes, it was grade 9.
Cool. What conventions have you gone to since then, and what is your viewpoint on cons?
Let's see. So besides Anime North, I've been to mostly local ones in Ontario. I've never been to one outside the US. I would like to one day, but obviously can't do that right now. But besides Anime North, I've been to YetiCon, I've been to Otakuthon, I've been to Fan Expo, and the other smaller cons Fan Expo holds, like Comic Con, or I don't even remember the names. They always have like a bunch of small cons. They have that Christmas one, and then they have, I can't even name them. I don't even remember. I haven't been to cons in so long. It's came out of my head. But I know Fan Expo, the people who run it, I know they run small cons here and there. And I've been to smaller cons that, what was it called? There was one called Cosplay Matsuri. It was in Canada, and there was one they held. It was up in, where was it? Scarborough or Markham? I forgot what that one's called too. It's been so long. I used to go to a lot of like smaller cons, like any cons, like no matter what it was. I was like, oh, let's go to that con. But like since 2019, I've just been going to just big name cons just because like I got tired. I got tired of waking up, putting my cosplay on and doing my makeup, and I just couldn't handle going to all these small cons. So honestly, I usually just go to Anime North, Fan Expo, YetiCon, and OtakuCon. Those are the big four I go to now. I'm too tired and I'm too old to be going to all these small cons.
That's why I tell the younger cosplayers, like, really, really enjoy it, because that energy and that commitment to waking up so early and going all 3 or 4 days. Like, when cons used to be 2 days, I used to think, oh my god, will I make it to Sunday? Saturday was already enough. And now they have so many cons and so many days, it's like...
I salute the younger cosplayers who could just go to every con and they could wear, like, let's say there's 3 days and they wear 2 cosplays on each day. I can't do it. Like, I have to go sit down, eat a burger for like 2 hours, and then like get like I can't do it. Like, I get so tired. I think it's because I'm older now, but I can't do it. I salute people who could walk around all day full of energy and be like, oh, I wear this cosplay in the day and this one in the night. It's crazy to me. I can't do it. Like, if once I have something on, it's staying on till I get home. Like, I don't have the energy to change.
But if you even remember, back in the day, that was kind of the norm. You'd have one cosplay, maybe a second one as a backup, or, you know, if you're going for the full weekend. But nah, we have people who even will go through 2 or 3 cosplays in a single day, depending on who's there.
I can't do it. I personally, I hate public washrooms. I can't do it. Like, the thought of me going to Anime North and saying, okay, let's change into our second outfit, and then go in the washroom. I don't want to put my cosplay on the floor. Like, I don't want it to get ruined. I don't want to put anything on the floor. I'd rather just leave it on and change when I get home. Or like, if you have a hotel, that's a little better. But for me, in my case, like, I don't live very far from Anime North, so I just, but then again, the drive's not that close either. So like I said, I just keep it on. But people who go back and forth to their hotel, even then, that's kind of difficult too.
Especially if you have props.
That's a reason why I won't change, because where am I going to put the prop? Where am I going to put it? I don't have anywhere to put it. It's so tough. I've only done that once for YetiCon. It was my first YetiCon, and I was so excited. I was like, yeah, my first YetiCon. I'm at the hotel. I'm going to do 2 cosplays a day. I will never do that again. That was a mistake.
Lesson learned, but at least it was an interesting experience, right?
It was interesting. I got to feel what other cosplayers feel like just by like changing. But oh my gosh, it was not good for me, because I realized the second outfit I had to put on, it was very like intricate. Like, I did Ibaraki from Fate Grand Order. She has like horns. I had to put body tattoos. She has so much detail. I realized like, this is not a good idea. I took like maybe an hour and a half to put that on, and I was 20 minutes late for my photo shoot.
Oof.
It was not good. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. Thank goodness it was a friend, but I still don't like being late for things. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep one cosplay on and just call it a day.
How would you say YetiCon compares to the conventions that we have here?
Oh, YetiCon's just great. Honestly, like, for me, Anime Anime North versus YetiCon, like, yeah, Anime North has a lot of people, it's fun, but YetiCon is just something everyone needs to experience. Like the resort, like let's say you get a hotel there, you have a pool, you have the cute like little village. There's so many wonderful areas to do shoots, like not only in the village, like close to the mountain and then by the water. And it's just a very relaxing atmosphere. When I'm at YetiCon, I don't feel like super stressed like I do at Anime North. Like I gotta find my friends, I gotta go here, I gotta go to that booth. It's more laid back. It feels like I'm at a getaway, but with a bunch of cosplayers.
Yeah, that's I've never been to YetiCon, but that's the vibe I get when I see videos and shoots from there. It is a getaway. It's really like a resort for cosplay.
It is so nice there. Like anyone who has not been to YetiCon, I recommend them to go at least once. Book a room for 3 days. You will not regret it. It's just, oh my gosh, it's just so great. I've only been to YetiCon twice, and honestly, it's like the out of all the cons I really miss YetiCon the most. Like the pandemic, ever since we can't go to cons and stuff, I've been okay, but once in a while, I find myself thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I miss YetiCon though.
Over the years, how have conventions changed? Like you, from what you've seen to high school till now, and as we already discussed, there's been so much growth within the cosplay community, but you've seen firsthand that growth as well. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of growth. So compared to when I started cosplaying in high school up until today, I would say there's definitely more people who are interested. There's more people who want to try it out, more people who are willing to try this hobby out. And also since there's more people cosplaying, and I realize there's a lot more people cosplaying now, it's because the resources to get cosplay items are a lot easier than they were back in the day. Because I know back in the day, people would have to go on eBay and pay they would have to pay more than usual. Like for me today, like if I bought a wig right now, my wig would probably be I don't know, $20. Shipping, under $30 for sure. I know for people who were cosplaying back in the day, when they ordered their wigs would be $60, and it wouldn't be like those good wigs that people use like Arta where it's heat resistant and you could style it. Oh no, they were like the Halloween, the spirit Halloween wigs. And it would be $60, and then you see the shipping and it says $40.
It's so
and then the wig was so bad.
We've come so far.
And then the cosplays you would buy, they would be overpriced too. Like for me, if I were to buy a cosplay, it would cost I would say around $60, depending on what I get. I would say a normal cosplay would be around $60. People might disagree with me on that, but I don't know. For me, it's like that. But when you go buy stuff on eBay, it would be almost $200. And that was every cosplayer's best friend back in the day. I gotta go on eBay. I gotta go get my cosplay on eBay. And a lot of people wouldn't wear lenses either. And if they did, they would go to, like I said, Spirit Halloween. They would pay $100 for lenses. I think they were almost $100. And now today, lenses don't cost that lot. You could buy lenses for $20 to $30. If you want a good pair, $40 to $50. A lot of things have become more accessible and cheaper. A lot of people, there's cosplay sites where you can order from, or me and a lot of other people who are able to use Taobao. Taobao it's a Chinese site where you could buy cosplays for cheap. For me, I can use Taobao because I can type in Chinese and read a little bit of the stuff. But a lot of people use Taobao now, and I do a lot of orders for cosplayers, because there's a lot of cosplayers out there. Not everyone's Chinese, and a lot of cosplayers, they now know, they're like, oh wow, like Taobao, like I could buy a cosplay for so much cheaper, and yeah, and I just do orders for people, and it's just things have changed so much.
They really have. It's like, even not just with cosplay, but any hobby, it's crazy that things cost so little. Shipping is basically free, and you have so many options. Like, I remember back in the day, people who I would cosplay with, if they wanted to go as a character from an anime that perhaps wasn't very popular, there was a chance that they would have to stitch that cosplay themselves. Like, there was no other option, and there was no there were no like prints or like the plans for it, so they would kind of have to like freehand it and just figure it out best of their ability, or modify a previously existing like piece of clothing. Now that's not the case. You can get like the alt thing of this video game character from 5 years ago, and you can just throw it on and have it ordered to your house within days. Like, it's incredible. And it also makes sense because now that cosplay is so accessible, the costume industry itself, it's booming. There's so much money. It's incredible.
I remember back in the day when everyone had to make their cosplays. Like, back in the day, if you wanted to be a cosplayer, you had to know how to make your stuff and sew, or you wouldn't be able to be a cosplayer back in the day. But now it's different. Now you don't need to have the talent to sew things, to make props. There's so much market for it. You want your prop made? There's someone out there who can make the prop for you, or you could buy it. You want your cosplay? You could order online, or you can get it commissioned. It's just so much easier now.
How do you feel about that, though?
For me, I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I know there'll be some people who'll be like, oh, cosplay is about, making stuff. Like, you're not a real cosplayer if you don't make your stuff. There's people who will say that, but my opinion, like, at the end of the day, we all like the same thing. We all like anime. We're all having a good time. We're all doing this for fun. I will not shame someone for ordering a cosplay. If it makes them happy, then bet. I don't have an issue for it. In my case, I go half and half. I either make my cosplays or I buy my cosplays. And it's because sometimes it's cheaper to buy it, and sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't want to make stuff. But even then, if someone buys their cosplay, it doesn't exclude the fact that there's no creativity in it, because you still have to style your wig, and you still have the resources to do your makeup. Like, there's still an artistic value to it, even though you're buying a cosplay. There's still effort being put into it. Like, let me do my wig, let me do my makeup, or for people who wear lenses, let me put my lenses on, let me get there's still effort being made. So I don't like it when a lot of older cosplayers shame the younger cosplayers, saying, oh, they're not cosplayers, they just buy their stuff, they're not real cosplayers, there's no creativity. Back in my day, yeah, that was back in the day. You should be happy that there are more people that are interested, and there's a bigger community, and it's more welcoming. Shouldn't people be happy to see other people cosplaying like things they like? I don't like this whole elitist culture of, oh, you didn't make your cosplay, you're not valid. I hate it so much. Honestly, I think if you're happy and if you're having a good time and you're using your creativity to express yourself, I don't see the issue with it, honestly.
I agree. I do think there should be some artistic value with cosplay, but if that is doing your makeup or just making sure that your cosplay is well ironed and your wig is well styled, that's more than enough for me. I'm not going to ever hold it against somebody or go online and hate on the new wave of cosplayers. That to me just seems kind of peculiar. Like, that's very, very peculiar behavior. I kind of feel that as I've been working through this channel, reaching out to some cosplayers from back in the day, a lot of them were unable to keep up with the changing tide of not just cosplay but anime as well, even social media. Now there's kind of an incentive to really be invested in cosplay, and like back in the day, if you had a cosplay website, it was very periodical. Anime North, CN Anime, maybe that J Halloween dance, and that was really it. Or maybe
Oh my gosh, you take me back.
yeah, right. I remember that. That was a great event. I remember when they started doing it, and I'm like, wow, we have a new event, guys. We can do something more. But now it's like every month in every major city you have some sort of event or get together, and now there's social media, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's so much that you can do with cosplay. I want people to do the simplest thing that they can do to get the grandest cosplay that they can, because it just makes the community stronger, and it doesn't devalue what you do if you want to do cosplay from scratch. So
I agree with that, yeah.
Your cosplay photography, how did that start? I think you've worked with some great photographers. I think you are an excellent cosplay model, and I'm just overall interested in how that began.
Like, so photography, how I got into shoots?
Yeah. I actually came across your page on the Explore page from a photographer, and that's what led me to your page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which photography, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's Small.
Oh, yes, Small L, yes.
Okay,
yes.
There we go. Okay.
Small L does a lot of my photos.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, no, excellent photographer. I want to see if I can get them on, but
Oh yeah, she's great. She's a great photographer for sure. When did I first start doing shoots? Let's see. When I first cosplayed to be, at that time I wasn't really aware of the whole like photography scene. I would say my first shoot I did, when was my first shoot? I would say it was from a friend I made, because at that time I wasn't aware of this whole cosplayer to photo shoot thing. But I remember I made a friend at Anime North, and after a while of seeing them at a con and stuff, he was like, oh, I do photography. And I'm like, oh, you do photography? He's like, yeah, I'd love to shoot your cosplay sometime. And I was just like, oh, this is a thing? Like I was so like mind blown. I'm like, people take photos of cosplays? They want to take a photo of mine? I was so shook. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Because I was used to, like, the closest I've gotten to photography was people coming up to me at Anime North with their phone or their camera and taking photos of me right next to that beautiful road. That's what I was used to. And my mind was already blown by that. I'm like, oh my God, someone wants to take my photo at Anime North. Or they want to take my photo in that horrible unlighted hall inside. And I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh,
and so I was expecting something like that. And I had my first culture shock for a shoot. It was a location shoot. It was at where was it? It was at a cafe. I think my first shoot, I might be wrong, but my first shoot was a Love Live character, and we did it at a cafe, and the cafe was adorable. I was like, oh my God, this cafe is cute. It suits my outfit. This is cute. And he had food ready. Like he had like a waffle with food ready, and he had props like ready. And I was just like, I'm like, have I been missing out on this the whole time? People shoot like this? I'm like, I've been doing shoots at Anime North where the background's just god awful, and I was just so shook. And I got the photos back, and I'm like, I didn't know I could look this good. I was like, that's me. I look like that. And ever since then, I just started doing more shoots. Like, besides with him, I started expanding my circle of photographers. Most of the photographers I shoot with are people I know. I'm not the best person at reaching out to newer photographers because I'm a little weary. There's been a lot of cases in the Toronto cosplay scene where there are cosplayers and they have a history or they're just creepy as hell. So I always shoot with people I know or people that are photographers that are recommended to me that I've done research on and I've heard good things about. It's hard. It's hard to shoot with cosplay, not cosplay. It's hard to shoot with photographers that you don't know. So I feel like if you establish like a friendship with them, I feel like it's a little more safer. But better to be safe than sorry. But yeah, most of my shoots are done by friends or people that I trust, and ever since from there, like shooting, like doing photography with other photographers, it has boosted my confidence since day one. I never really liked taking photos myself, and all of a sudden I'm like, I just love doing shoots because I look at the photos and they just do such an amazing job. They honestly, I feel like they make me look better than I look. I'll look at myself and be like, I swear I don't look like that. Like that's not me, but it is me. But the photographers they do such an amazing job, and I'm so grateful that there are people who are willing to get into this cosphotography stuff. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the cos photography people who give cosplayers a safe space, besides, like I mentioned before, besides the ones who prey on like younger kids. I just think that's whack.
Yeah, same here. It's a wonderful community, and it's a very creative community. And when the photography became a bigger part of it, that's when I felt like there was exponential growth. So I am so enamored to see cosplay photographers doing a lot of great things right now, but also I'm happy that there's more accountability and there's more safety because, like you said, Toronto has had a lot of creeps, especially.
We have way too many.
We'll come to that if you're comfortable talking about that later.
I'm very comfortable. I would love to diverge into that more. I have too much to say about that.
We absolutely will. I actually feel very strongly about that, and that's part of the reason why I also wanted to start this channel, is to build more camaraderie amongst cosplayers. I feel that I don't. We'll get into it, but yeah, you're like you said, your confidence has skyrocketed because of all the photography and the great photographers that you've worked with. Who are some of the photographers that you've worked with that you'd like to shout out?
Well, obviously Small L. She does a lot of my photos. Honestly, she just makes my photos look great. I have people who aren't into cosplay look at my photos and be like, "Oh my God, like those photos are so good. Like, where did you get these done?" And they'll be so shook. They'll be like, "Wait, like they're not like they don't do photography for a business." I'm like, they just do like, they pay people to do cosplay photography. Who else have I? It has been so long that I am trying to think who I've worked with. I have another friend. He used to go by Trash Lord, but now he doesn't do cosplay photography anymore. But I love doing shoots with him. Like I said before, he doesn't do cosplay shoots. We usually just do normie shoots here and there. He's awesome. He's very inclusive. I love how he doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't pick and choose, because there's a lot of cosplayers who, if you don't look a certain way, they don't want to shoot you. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cosplayers who. Oh yes, there's a lot of There's a lot of photographers like that.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
I didn't know the scene has gotten so gatekeepery. Strange.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of elitist photographers out there. Like, if you don't look a certain way, unfortunately, they don't really have interest in shooting you. It's mostly dudes who just want to shoot, like, honestly, like East Asian cosplayers. Like, if you don't fit that standard, there's a lot of photographers, sadly, who are like, "Oh, if you're not thin, if you're not like Asian, I don't want to shoot you." And I don't like that. I always look for photographers who I know are inclusive to all sizes, all colors, like, instead of limiting their options, because the world didn't make one person. The world has many beautiful different people out there, and I don't think it's very creative to just limit your options to, oh, let me just shoot that cute East Asian girl. Like, I will not work with photographers like that. Even if I do fit their standards, I don't support it, because I know I have friends who wouldn't appreciate that. And that's one thing that's bad about the cosplay community too. There's unfortunately, and there's photographers out there, and I feel like the biggest problem with the community is photographers. Not all of them, some of them, but we'll get more into that later. But who else? I shoot with those two people. I have shot with other people, but I don't shoot with them all the time. I'm trying to think. Let me check my phone.
Yeah,
it's
no
been
worries.
so long since I shot. I feel bad if I don't shout out the proper people. I just haven't had a shoot in so long. It's so foreign to me. I'm like, photographers?
Yeah,
Who
no,
are those?
I know
I
what
only
you mean.
know shooting myself at home. Most of the people I shoot with actually are just like my friends who don't really have an account, but they just shoot me. I like to shout. He's Vancouver based, but his name is Zero Lock. His
Zero.
photos are amazing. He has taken beautiful photos of me. He's done my Violet Evergarden and my Fate Grand Order. Which one? Semiramis and Shiro. If you could see them back here.
Yes, I can.
I did a shoot for his photos were amazing. Like that was my first. That was at, where was it? That was at OtakuCon. It was the first photographer I've worked with outside of my area, and his photos are amazing. It's such a shame that he's in Vancouver, or I would have him shoot all my stuff like all the time. Like, he's amazing, honestly.
Nice. Thank you for putting me on. I'm going to check out the photographers you've been
No
talking
problem.
about.
Besides Small L, Zero Lock, and I mentioned somebody else, and Trash Lord. I would say another photographer I worked with that's amazing would be, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I think I am saying this right. Vital Z Cosmography. He was one of the very first people I shot with, and I love his work a lot too. I really like his style. I usually go to him if I have like a it's like a dark evil themed character, because that's his style. Like, he kills that. And I've worked with other photographers, but those are the ones I would recommend to other people, just because that they're very welcoming and they won't discriminate, and they just take awesome photos. And it doesn't matter what you look like. You don't have to be insecure or nothing. You could just go in there and have a good time.
Cool. Great. Thank you for that. What anime do you watch and what games do you play?
Well, I am currently still watching One Piece. I don't know when I'm going to be out of that hell, but I'm still watching it. I'm about to start watching the second season of Doctor Stone. I haven't got onto it yet. I've been very lazy on that, but I am gonna get to that. I'm rewatching JoJo right now. I'm rewatching Stardust Crusaders. I love JoJo so much. Oh my gosh. I'm rewatching it right now. I love JoJo though. He's great.
I was an OG JoJo fan. I used to wear JoJo cosplay to school back in like 2006. I swear to God.
Oh my gosh, who
Yes.
did you wear?
I've always loved part 4 and part 5 the most. So Bruno, I'll see if I could find a photo of it and I'll throw it up, but there was like this really badly done Bruno shirt that had like zippers all over. That was kind of supposed to be like the thing with him in his stand, and I used to wear that, and people would be like, why are you wearing like BDSM clothing to school? And this was like the mid 2000s, so it's like I don't know how to explain to someone
It
that,
would
oh,
look
it's JoJo.
different too, because when they came out with that season, they changed his color scheme. So you had
Exactly.
the OG colors. Oh my.
Exactly. And I don't know. I've always loved JoJo. I get so happy when people say that they love rewatching JoJo, because I always felt that that could have been one of the biggest anime adaptions of all time, which it was. But like growing up, like I was reading the chapters as they were coming out, and it's like, man, no one else knows about this series. My friends don't want to read it. No one knows about it. It's so sad. Now everyone loves it.
Yeah, now everyone loves it. Unfortunately, I didn't know about JoJo like that early on. I got into JoJo maybe like a year and a half ago. I guess that's how big JoJo has like an impact that I discovered it. I honestly I didn't know anything about it. I looked into it. I watched it. I even looked at some of the comic panels, and I was like, how was this not like big early on? Like this, it's colored in and everything. It's so nice.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I have like a theory, but yeah, JoJo was such a great series. It's still great, and I absolutely love it. I'm so
Oh,
happy that people love it too.
I'm looking forward to the new season they're coming out with. What is it
Stone
called?
Ocean.
Stone Ocean. I love Jolene. I am looking forward to her so much.
Yeah.
I just love JoJo. I My favorite season was the one with Josuke. Oh my gosh, I love Jo. I was actually debating if I'm going to do a Josuke cosplay because I really want to do a JoJo cosplay. I'm gonna probably end up doing Josuke.
Really? I'd love to see that.
Oh, yeah. I just don't know how I'm gonna do that pompadour. I look at that pompadour, it's the one thing that stops me from doing a JoJo cosplay. I'm like, oh, I want to cosplay JoJo, and I'm like, oh, I want to cosplay Josuke. I look at everything, I'm like, yeah, and then I look at the wig, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's
I don't.
a little daunting.
The pompadour. I don't. I'll be there all day. I'll figure it out eventually, but yeah, I definitely want to do more JoJo cosplays once I'm able to because of the pandemic. Like once cons come back, I'm gonna be out here One Piece cosplays, JoJo cosplays, Bleach cosplays. Bleach
Nice.
is another series I love. I love Bleach, but yeah. Besides that, those are the only. I don't watch. I don't like watching a lot of anime at once because I feel like I get very confused. Like, let's say if I were to watch like five different animes. Let's say I'm about to watch like Inuyasha, and let's say the night before I just binged Hunter x Hunter. I'll sit there and I'd be like, wait, what's happening? Why isn't he? I'm like, wait, this is a different series. What am I doing? I can't mix it up. I have to watch it. Like the most I'll do is I'll watch two at a time. I can't go any further than that because my brain cannot comprehend too many things happening at once. I will just get confused. And besides anime, I have all I've been playing is Final Fantasy Online. I wake up, I open my eyes and I say, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy Online. And then I stop the game and I say, I'm gonna go to bed and my day is done. My day is done. I don't know if you know that game. It's an MMORPG.
I do.
That game has consumed my entire life. Like I got into it last June, which it was still quarantine. I had nothing to do. So I'm like, yeah, let me sell my soul to an MMORPG. Mistake. All I do is play this game. This is all I do. My dog looks at me and she's like, you gonna take me out? And I'm like, I'm in a dungeon right now. You gotta give me 20 minutes. And then she just sits there. She's like, you gonna take me out now? And I'm like, I'm still in this dungeon. You have to give me
Oh.
another 20 minutes. This is what my life has become. My mother will be like, are you gonna eat? And I'm like, I'm in a dungeon. You have to give me another 20 minutes. This is all I do. Every day I wake up, I play Final Fantasy online, I do my silly little tasks, I'm done. My day is done.
No, I feel you, man. The pandemic has changed everyone's habits, and I think for the best. I would love if, like, for the next 5 years, all I needed to do was game and watch anime, read manga.
is true. The only thing I miss during the pandemic, besides seeing my friends, because I talk to them on Discord, it's all good. But sometimes you want to go out with your friends. Besides that, the biggest thing I miss is actually making money. Like I miss
Yeah.
going to work and just making money. Maybe that's just me wanting money, but that's the only thing I miss. I just want to make money. If I could make money sitting down, bet. But unfortunately, I can't unless it's like what is it called? The checks the government sends us, the serve checks. I mean, that's great and all, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I would like to go back to making a stable income.
Yeah. I want to, like, I've been working on and off throughout the pandemic, like just like freelance and stuff, but I
Mhm.
want to kind of go back to the commuting to work and the stability of it. Like, I don't mind working from home as well because
Yeah.
it does give you more time to, invest in your hobbies, invest in yourself, but the structure of what society used to be, I gotta admit, I kind of miss it. And obviously, the benefit of having a paycheck, because something that a
Yeah.
lot of people, not to deviate too much from like the topic at hand, but something a lot of people don't pick up on is that, like, if we are all working from home, salaries are eventually going to go down, especially people who are coming into the field. Like, Canada already has comparably lower salaries for a lot of their professional fields compared to other like North American cities, big North American
Oh yeah.
cities. So it's like, I don't want it to be the norm for people who are coming out of school who are so used to, doing their exams at home to now go into the workplace and they're working from home. But if they had gone to the workplace 3 or 4 years earlier, they'd be making 25% more than what they're making now, because then we'll never get to a point where Canadians are getting properly compensated compared to our American counterparts.
I've seen what let's say you go to university for, let's say, like 4 years, you have a degree in something, and then you look at the job market and you see what these employers want to pay you. It is sad. It's sad. It's like I spent this amount of money for my degree, and you want to pay me this much for my it's I've seen LinkedIn. It's a sad place to be.
It's disgusting if you ask me. I
It's
personally think it's terrible.
It's awful. Like, to pay someone who has been to school for this long, they paid this much for school. You want to pay them like $14? Like, really? You gonna pay them 14? I'm like, come on. And then they
And
wouldn't.
they'll get away with it too, because
Yeah,
people will take the position. There are people who need the experience or they need that
that's
job,
true.
so it skews
And then
everything.
and then there's some of these employers will be like, oh, how come no one wants to work for me? Look what you're putting down on paper. It's horrible. No one wants to work for that unless, like you said, unless they need the experience. Some people need to build their resumes and they'll take anything. But for people who have job experience, who want to get a job in the profession, that's not it. It's not it, Chief. You put that number down, it's disgusting. There's no respect these days on LinkedIn.
It's
I
true.
just don't even. Oh, it's so bad.
It's true. I really hope things change, and they change sooner than later, because like I'm kind of over it. I'm over the whole professional life. As much as I do want to go back to it, it's like it's a rat race, and it's a race where, like, the conversation we're having now is a conversation people will be having 2 years from now, when the ramifications of this pandemic and all of us working from home and all the shutdowns are fully being felt. Businesses that went out and businesses that were able to survive will now have a stronger monopoly, and because they have a stronger monopoly, they can now dictate how little they want to pay people. Like, it's already so low, and it's just getting to the point where it's like they're now going to start taking interns for free to do jobs that they're paying people $18, $20 to do. It's very sad.
It's a tough market out there. Like, the Canadian, like, market, just to get a job, it's so tough. I've seen so many people who are just like, I'm not gonna work in Canada. I'm going somewhere else. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, bye. But it's just so awful that you have to. Some people have to pick up and leave and go somewhere else. It's tough out here, honestly.
A few of my friends are even working with American companies, and they're not flying out now, but before they would fly out. But if they could work remotely for an American company that was paying, a little bit more than what they're getting here in Canada, obviously they'll take it. They're
Especially if it's
engineers.
a USD.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely worth
definitely.
the double taxes for sure. What other hobbies are you into?
Let's see. Besides selling my soul to an MMORPG, what else am I into? I used to draw a lot. I mean, right, like just recently, I have been getting back into art just because I have friends. A lot of my friends draw, and I look at their artwork, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so nice. And then I'll sit there and reminisce, like, oh, I remember what I used to draw, but I don't do that anymore because I'm tired and I just play my stupid little video game all day. But yeah, no, just recently I woke up and I was just like, you know what? I want to go back to drawing again. I want to start sketching again. I want to start painting again. And yeah, I started sketching again. Like if you've noticed my Instagram, besides like cosplay, it has a little mix of like my older artworks in there. And yeah, like I used to enjoy drawing a lot, but for the past few years, I felt like, oh, art's a hassle. Like I'm not getting anywhere with this. And then I kind of jumped on cosplay and I forgot about art for a bit. But now since I'm in a pandemic and I'm trying to find things to do, I'm starting to rediscover, like, you know what? Like I miss drawing. Let me do some drawing and stuff. And besides drawing, does online shopping count as a hobby?
It does. Don't let anyone tell you it doesn't, because it absolutely is a hobby or a profession.
uh I've been I've been getting I've been collecting figurines. I've noticed ever since the pandemic, I'm like, ooh, I wanna collect some figurines. Cause the only figurines I had before was Fate Grand Order, and I was like, oh my god, that's so boring. I need to add other stuff to my shelf. And then I bought One Piece figurines, and I don't know how many Ace figures I have. Like I have too many. It needs to stop. I love Ace so. Oh my gosh, I love Ace. I'm currently waiting for my pre-order. They drew Ace and Sabo from the Watto arc. Like obviously, like he's not there, but I remember Oda drew official art of them if they were on Watto, and I was like, oh my god, like this is great. And then he was like, let's make that official figures, and I was like, ooh, you have my money, sir. I will buy that. And I'm just waiting until he puts, like, until it's on Ami Ami, until it's on pre-order, because he just released the model, and I was just like, I need that. I'm like right on my shelf, and then my mom's just like, are you gonna keep buying the same guy for your figurines? I'm like, hell yeah, I'll keep doing that.
The shelf will become a wall eventually, Mom. Just you wait.
Oh yeah, it'll become a wall. Like I really like Ace, but besides Ace, like my favorite character is Law. I love Law. I don't have a figure of him, but I'm gonna get a figure of him, and it has to be a nice figure. Anything for Law. I will take down like my shelf is full right now. I will take all my Fate Grand Order figures, and I will put a big Law figure there if I have to. I am willing to go all out for Law.
Sick. That's what it's all about.
It's all about Law. I love Law. Anyone who doesn't like Law, I'm like, I don't know.
They don't pass the vibe check.
They don't pass the vibe check. People would say, oh, I don't like Law. I'm like, I don't think I can have a conversation with you.
Oh, wow. I want to get to the topic that we were talking about previously. Tell me about issues within the cosplay community.
Well, I would say, like, I like to start off, like, every community has their own issues. You're never gonna find a community with a picture perfect image. There's always going to be some sort of issues, but within the cosplay community, it's the same thing, but there are things that need to be addressed in the Toronto cosplay community specifically. I don't know how every other cosplay community is in different countries or in the States, but there are things that need to be addressed in the Canadian cosplay community, specifically the GTA, and that's mainly, I would say mainly it's the photography aspect, because you'll find toxic people everywhere. You'll find like cosplayers would be like, oh, that cosplayer is ugly, or you'll find that in any community. There's nothing you do about that but ignore these people. They're just clowns. They do that. I don't know why, but you'll find it anywhere. But the biggest problem I would say in this community is photographers. And I'm not generalizing all photographers. I'm generalizing a small few of photographers who take advantage of their so-called photography power. The issue is there's a mentality for photographers specifically who are men, where they sit there and they're like, oh, like, I don't have a girlfriend. I really want a girlfriend. How can I get a girlfriend? Oh, maybe I should start shooting cute girls. If I shoot cute girls, I'll get their attention, and then they'll like me, and then they think of this whole scenario in their head. And the crazy thing is, if you have money, anyone has an access to a camera. So these dudes will be like, okay, let me buy this camera. And unfortunately, not everyone behind the camera they don't have what's the word? They don't have good intentions, basically. There's a lot of there's a lot of photographers I have encountered. They shoot not because they like to shoot people, or they like to do photography, or they like anime, or they like that cosplay. I see a lot of them do it just because the girl is cute and they're interested in them. There's a lot of, not a lot, but there's more than enough photographers who are like that, who they don't pick the camera up because they're passionate. They do it because I want a girlfriend. There's so many cute girls who cosplay. I want a cute cosplay girlfriend. Let me become a photographer. Oh, my ideal relationship is to get a cute cosplayer, and then I'll be her photographer. It's sad, honestly. If you wake up in the morning and that's how you want to get your relationship, it's sad. You need to taste the real world, because it's creepy. And these dudes some of these dudes will take another step, and they'll be kind of like predatory about it, a little creepy about it. And then it expands from there, where dudes will prey on underage people. And it's just insane how like we should be scared of, obviously you should be scared with someone with like a weapon and stuff, but sometimes you gotta fear people behind the camera too. And I just don't like how photographers, it's not the norm, but I see it more than I would like to see it. Like there's I would say there's too much of that energy, and I just think it's just really creepy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I remember when Instagram was just popping off and a lot of people started becoming photographers. And it's interesting because I took photography in high school and in post-secondary, and I've even worked with people behind the scenes for shoots, video shoots, photography shoots. So like, I don't claim to be a world-class photographer nor a professional, but I have knowledge enough to know when someone else is trying to get something through their photography, when they're trying to prey on somebody else. You can tell by how they approach someone, how they'll contact somebody, the kind of shoots that they tell the girls to do. And it's like, I don't know, like that is a problem with Toronto. Toronto definitely has a creeper thing, and maybe it's because we're playing catch up to the bigger cities. Photographers here want to be like the photographers in New York. Cosplayers here want to get a lot of work. They want to be like the cosplayers how they are in America, in the UK, because you can leverage all of that into a career and obviously social media clout. But I think for, like you said, a lot of people, they have other intentions. So they're going to prey on people they find vulnerable or who are unaware of what their real intentions are. And those girls, those younger underage people in general, they'll be blinded. They're not going to see the danger that's in front of them, right? Like, it's sad because it is a real problem, and it's a problem I've seen throughout my 20s, and I'm stressed because as cosplay gets more popular, you hear, every once in a while something will pop up on Twitter about like this person at a convention did this, or this famous photographer has a string of issues that he had with all of these other girls, and he was telling them to shut up and keep quiet and stuff, and it's disgusting. Obviously we haven't heard much of it now because everything's being shut down, but I'm hoping that like as more people are brought awareness of the fact that cosplay isn't exempt from creeps, that going forward we're not going to have these issues, or at least we'll reduce them as much as we possibly can.
Of course, yeah. I want to see more people with passion for photography behind the camera than more people who think they're the bachelor and they're going to give their rose out to the girl. Because it's sad. People will just, honestly, some photographers, they just shoot people who fit their ideal type. They'll be like, oh yeah, she's my ideal type. Let me shoot her. Like, it won't even matter, like, what she's cosplaying. It's like, oh, she's cute, she's my ideal type. And then they'll keep catering to that cosplayer, be like, let me do this for you, let me do that shoot for you. And then they get gassed up so much by other people. And then they ask the girl out, and then when they say no, it's like, I don't want to do photography anymore or something like that. It's just like, you can't expect to build a relationship like that. Like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna try to get into a relationship like that, it's not gonna work. I've seen like so many photographers who are interested in like cosplayers to be like, I like that girl and I like that girl. Like, it's fine to have crushes on people. There's nothing wrong with having a crush on someone, but it's just the way. It's the way you do things. If you expect a good foundation of a relationship, just catering to someone and hauling ass for them and taking their photos and just that, then you need a reality check, because it doesn't work like that. I want to, like I said before, I want to see more photographers who are into their profession, who are passionate, who are there to shoot for the sake of cosplay, not people who are here to pick and choose and be like, oh yeah, no, like, she's not my type, like, she's too big, or she's too blah blah blah, I don't want to shoot her, like, I'm tired of it. It's exhausting. I feel bad for cosplayers who, like I said, who aren't like this thin image, or who aren't like, let's say fair skin, and they don't look a certain way. I feel bad for them, because at the end of the day, they're cosplayers too. Like, every cosplayer deserves to have fun at a convention. No one should feel like they're being discriminated or being left out because of their weight, race, etc. It is awful. And if I see it, I will call it out on the spot. I will not stand for it, because I have friends who, like I said, wouldn't appreciate it. I wouldn't want to see any of my friends go through that. So I don't want to see any other cosplayers go through that either. It's ridiculous how there are photographers like that, and that's why I encourage more people who want to shoot cosplayers. Like, please come shoot cosplayers, but come in with like, don't be so like nitpicky. Don't be an asshole about it. Just come for the sake of cosplay. I welcome photographers who give a safe environment for younger cosplayers, or cosplayers who would be, a little more weary or less confident because of what other stupid stuff photographers do.
Very well put. I feel you on all of that. Kai, I have a few more questions for you. What are you most looking forward to when everything opens back up?
Honestly, photo shoots. I miss doing photo shoots. As much as I miss cons, I like photo shoots more because they're a little more laid back. My photos turn out nice, and I get to eat somewhere afterwards. Unlike at a con, you have to settle for like, yeah, let's eat at Harvey's. I hate Harvey's. Harvey's is awful. There's so many better burgers out there.
That's blasphemy, man. I can't believe you just said that. This channel is sponsored by Harvey's, so like, I don't even know what to say.
Harvey's Harvey's is fine, but just when you relate it to other burgers, there's so many burger joints that are better.
I guess. I guess.
You don't agree?
You know, honestly, I haven't eaten in like a good burger in a very long time because of the pandemic. So I'm just gonna side with you on this one. I forgot what a burger tastes like.
No, because I know at Anime North, everyone would go eat at Harvey's, and Harvey's leaves that awful aftertaste in your mouth.
That
It's not a good
taste. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no.
It does
Like,
have that.
I used to think Harvey's was like the best burger for like my entire childhood, and then I was introduced to real food, and I was like, oh wow, like this is way better. But yeah, no, I miss like if things ever get back to normal, which they will, it's gonna take some time. I miss doing shoots. I would definitely start doing shoots again. Go back to work again. See my friends again, not like in abundance, but because I've never been like that. I've never been one to be like, oh my God, let's go out and do this. Oh my God, I don't want to say I'm introverted, but like, I like to be alone a lot. I like to do my own thing. I'm comfortable with being at home. I don't need to be talking to people all the time or seeing people all the time. I'm happy enough to talk to people when I can, but ever since the pandemic, I wouldn't mind going out, seeing my friends after this is all over. But I guess yeah, and I guess that kind of ties in with shoots because most of my friends are cosplayers, so I'll see them. Yeah, I miss doing shoots with my friends. Now, I'm crying in the club right now. I really miss doing shoots with my friends. The thing I like about shoots is I'm not the best person at conversation, and I feel like with shoots, it's a mix of let's get the shoot done and let's focus, and then let's eat and talk later. It cuts down my interaction because I feel like I'm awful at talking a lot. I feel like if I talk too much, that I'm gonna start thinking like I can't stand myself. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, no, I definitely miss shoots. So when things resume, I definitely want to do shoots again. That's the biggest thing I miss.
Can you tell us a few of your favorite cosplays that you've done in the past?
Ooh, few of my favorite cosplays. Oh, this is tough. I have to look at my phone. Once again, I haven't cosplayed in so long that sometimes I wake up and people are like, oh, I like this cosplay that you did. I'm like, I did that. I have to I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. It's been that long since I did that.
It feels like a past life, doesn't it?
It does feel like a past life. So one of my favorite cosplays I would say is Jinx from League of Legends. And the reason behind that is a lot of effort was put into that. A lot of effort. Like when I do cosplays, sometimes I get a little lazy and I'm like, ooh, let me just cut some corners and stuff. With Jinx, I went all out. Like I even to the shoes. Usually I don't care about the shoes. As long as my feet are comfortable, I do not care if it's accurate to the character. I'm going to be walking all day. I don't care. But for Jinx, from head to toe, everything was perfect. I even had the big cannon that she holds, the Star Guardian Jinx. Like there was just so much effort put into that cosplay, and makeup wise too. Like I amazed myself when I finished the makeup. I was like, holy hell, like who am I? I looked like a different person. And I did Jinx. When did I do Jinx? I did Jinx in 2018. Oh my God, that was so long ago. And I did it at Fan Expo, and I carried the huge cannon the whole entire day. I carried it.
Wow.
I carried it the whole day, and I was wearing heels, like
that's commitment.
Very, very thin heels, and I would hold it with one hand like this the whole time. My friends are like, "How the hell are you doing that?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm doing this." Jinx is definitely one of my favorite cosplays. Unfortunately, I sold her because I don't see myself wearing her again. I don't play League of Legends anymore. I stopped League of Legends to get a life, and my life is now in this MMORPG. So please tell me what I upgraded. Nothing.
You're trading one addiction for the next.
Oh, Lord. I used to play League of Legends since high school. When I tell you, do not get into League of Legends. People who play League of Legends, I feel sorry for them. I'm like, oh my gosh. I remember I saw a meme of League of Legends on Twitter. They said, you don't need to buy birth control if you play League of Legends. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm like, I'm dead.
That's so funny.
Yeah, League of Legends. Yeah, that will suck. Like your whole life gone if you play League of Legends. What else did I do? I haven't shot her yet, but I have posted photos of her on my Instagram. It would be Cleopatra from Fate Grand Order. That, once again, that's a handmade cosplay, so there's a lot of work into that one too. And the only reason why I haven't shot her yet is because it's such a nice cosplay. I need to find the right setting, and I need to find the right photographer to do it. Like, I just want everything to be perfect. There's just so much effort put into her. Like, she has these wrist gauntlets. It's made out of real metal. It is heavy. Her stuff, like, she has a lot of accessories. I think she has the gauntlets on her forearms and on her wrists, and I have like these big earrings, and there's just so much detail on her. And I also made a snake. She carries a huge snake. It wraps around my body, my entire body, and the head peeps out from my shoulder. It's huge. I handmade that. That was awful to make.
How long was that?
It took me 2 days to make it, and I did it the day before. I did it like a week before Anime Noir.
Yikes.
Usually I would, you know what? It's a step, because usually I would wake up, let's say on Saturday, and I'd be like, oh boy, I've done my cosplay. That's a step. Honestly, 2 days, a week before Anime Noir, that's an improvement for me.
Yeah,
because
I suppose so.
There's a lot of cosplayers who will be like, oh yeah, today's Friday. When I get home, I'm gonna finish my cosplay. I've seen people like rush back to their hotel, like, I gotta finish my cosplay at my hotel. I'm like, are you crazy? At the hotel? I'm like, not me. I'm like, I'll go home and finish it. Not any better, but oh yeah, that snake. The snake's huge, by the way. The snake is probably the size of me.
Oh, wow.
I am. How tall am I? I'm 169 centimeters. That's big. It's a big it's not heavy though. I made it out of what is it called? The pool noodles.
Oh,
and
really?
I wrapped it in fabric, and then I stuffed the head with cotton.
Okay.
And then I just did my own creativity to it. But yeah, that needs to be shot, because it's a shame I haven't done a shoot for that, because I worked so hard, and all I did was wear it at YetiCon and wear it at AN. That's all I did with it.
That's very inventive, though. How you're explaining how you put it together and the amount of effort you put in. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, because my friend did the same cosplay as me, and she made hers out of wood and plastic, and I said, I'm not carrying around wood and plastic. I'm like, knowing me, I'm gonna like sit down on the pavement, or like something's gonna break. I need it to be I'm not a clumsy person, but I will run to sit down. And knowing me, like, if I'm tired, I don't care. And if something breaks, I'll be like, yeah, be like that sometimes. I don't care. So, and I was bringing it to AN too. I was like, I'm not bringing something heavy to AN. I'm like, AN is wild. Like, I'm not doing that to myself. What else have I cosplayed? My other favorite cosplay is I worked on Nell from Bleach.
Okay.
I have not cosplayed it yet because I made it during quarantine. I made it during quarantine because I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, Oh, I think because I binge watched Bleach again. And I was like, I love Nell. I love Bleach so much. Bleach is my childhood. Bleach for me is like top 5 animes. I love Bleach so much.
Yeah, Bleach was pretty okay. I liked Nell. I liked a lot of characters during that era of Bleach. Like there were
The Espada arc, yeah.
yeah Nell, Grimjaw, uh, Kenpachi had a lot of character development.
Mm-hmm.
Stark was good. Who else was good? There was a lot of
It's a
yeah. It was good.
lot of great characters, but yeah,
Orihime got useful. She actually became useful during that
she
arc.
gets
Yeah.
when the new Bleach anime comes out, you're gonna see her become a lot more useful. I promise you, because her in the old Bleach, oh my gosh, me and her hanging by a thread. I'm like, Orihime, please. I'm like, please do something for me. Every time the camera go on her, I'm like, please, and all you hear is say, Kurosaki-kun. I'm like, stop, stop, do something for me. You're not doing enough for me.
Kurosaki good.
Every time, I'm like, please do something. I'm like, I'm tired of you. Oh, she does get redeemed though, definitely when the new Bleach comes out.
Nice. Okay.
She does a lot more, honestly. Like I already read the manga for that. When it comes, I'm so excited when it comes out.
I dropped it at the start of like Fullbring, and I couldn't finish it. I read like the last chapter just to read it, and I'm like, I don't feel invested enough to go back and see the 100 chapters or whatever in between. Like, I loved Rukia in Bleach so
Oh
much,
yeah.
and the fact that they didn't like do more with her, it kind of like just rubbed me the wrong way, because Rukia was my favorite character. I mean, like, she was my I don't know if she was my first waifu, but like she may have been like my first serious waifu. Like, I used to like draw Rukia pictures and stuff, and I loved Bleach. Bleach was just so cool for me. Like, they had the best drip, all the characters.
Oh
Cool,
yeah,
the
Bleach
fights were
strip.
cool.
Oh, I tell that to my friends all the time. I'll be like, "Do you see his drip?" I'll show like photos of like Chad. I'm like, "Do you see his drip?" Like Bleach.
Yeah, bro. Kubo was good.
Ichigo had drip. No one can tell me. People are like Naruto. No. Ichigo had drip.
Yeah, it was all about Bleach. All the Bleach characters were so well dressed. The art was so sleek, and then I don't know. The story didn't really keep me. But I do love Bleach though.
I can feel that. The thing with Bleach is there's a lot of fillers, and I feel like people get lost with the fillers. But if you were to skip the fillers, I would say like the story is really good. The only arc that kind of bored me, like it bored me a bit, was the Fullbringer arc. I was not captivated in that arc. That was the very last arc.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't even bother.
the best part of Bleach was up until like they defeat Aizen. That's that's prime Bleach. That's the best. Anything to the beginning all the way up until Mugetsu fights Aizen. That's Bleach for me. Fullbringer arc was not feeling it. Like it was okay. I wasn't feeling what's his name? Kugo. He looks like I call him John Travolta. He looks like John Travolta.
Ooh.
It looks like John Travolta. I wasn't feeling the Fullbringers with their full bring. It was okay. Like I won't lie, was kind of bored. But I know after that, the whole Thousand Year Blood War arc with the Soul Reapers versus the Quincy's, it's gonna be great.
Okay. I honestly don't know at all what happens during that arc. So.
Oh no, it's great. They introduce a new set of captains. They're called the Zero Squad captains, and they're just absolutely broken. And then the Quincy's, like if you thought Bleach had drip, when you see like all like there's a crew of Quincy's, there's like I think there's like 20 something of them. Their outfits drip. Like it's immaculate drip. When I saw the photos of all the Quincy's, I was like they have drip, and I saw Ishida, and I was like, you know what, Ishida might be able to get it. I looked at Ishida, I'm like, Ishida might be able to get it.
Oh my God! Wow! Finally, because throughout the series, I was like, this man is plain AF. Like, he was just
No,
so
he
uninteresting.
when when they put those Quincy uniforms on, I was like, this is the best. This is the best anime of all time. I'm like, look at this artwork. And when they added the Zero Squad captains, they added my favorite Zero Squad captain. His name is Oetsu. You can look him up. His drip. You know how the captains wear the white cloaks? He
Mm.
wears a white bubble vest, like the Toronto man's vest.
No way.
He does, and he wears slides.
Okay.
He's he makes the Zanpakutos. He's so sick.
Okay.
I love Oetsu.
I may
Oetsu.
have to marathon Bleach now. I may have to finish up the manga
Oh,
finally.
when that new season comes out, I believe they announced it for fall 2021. I believe.
Okay.
When that comes out, I'm telling you, 1,000 Year Blood War is so good. I've been waiting for years until Type Kubo would announce like, oh, we're gonna animate it. Years I've been waiting for this, and I'm so happy that it's finally being animated now, and I can't wait to see more people love Bleach. I love Bleach so much. I just want everyone to love Bleach. I am so excited for it, and I'm so excited to see everyone cosplay Orihime when that happens.
Yeah, yeah, I like Orihime cosplay because she's a very cosplayable character, if you know what I mean. Like she just
Yeah, she is.
yeah.
And I love Rukia's new design. Her hair is a little shorter. Oh, Rukia looks so good.
um,
I
good old
I love
Bleach.
Rukia.
Good
Yeah,
old Bleach.
besides, yeah, I would say those are my top three favorite cosplays. I said Jinx, I said Cleopatra from Fate Grand Order, and I said Nell. I think those would be my favorite.
I will say your approach to cosplay is really good. You're a good cosplayer. I don't know how to
Oh,
articulate it to someone who already knows and they put together their own stuff, but I really appreciate your work.
oh, thank you so much. Besides that, I would say Levi would be my fourth favorite, just because that was a pain too. I remember when I borrowed the what is it called, the ODM gear. I don't remember what it's called. I had to borrow it from my friend, and I remember I came to Anime North just wearing everything but that. She brought it to me, and let me tell you right now, do not put ODM gear on in the middle of the sidewalk at AN. I was like, how you put this on? I'm like, what the hell is this? That's something you have to do at home. I did that on the streets of AN. I will not do that again. That was so hard to put on, but it was worth it because I was just really surprised that I pulled off Levi, because I feel like Levi is not easy to cosplay. For people who focus on makeup for cosplay, Levi is not the easiest to do for makeup. It is very difficult. It's very hard. And I remember my first attempt for Levi, I thought it was really good, but then when I did it for the second time for a photo shoot, I was like, wait, this is a little better now. And even though Levi, it's not a very intricate cosplay like the other ones I've mentioned, it would be one of my favorite cosplays because even though it's simple, the eye makeup and the wig was just, a lot of work was put into that. Like a lot of work for me to find like a proper Levi wig and to cut it the way I did. It was difficult. Like a lot of work was put into the wig and the eye makeup and just everything. I changed my entire facial structure with contour. I would look in the mirror and be like, why does my face look this small? I'm like, I don't know who I am. So for that reason alone, Levi would be one of my favorite cosplays. It was a closet cosplay. Besides me buying the wig and borrowing the gear for my friend, I didn't think I could make something like almost like, how much did I spend on Levi? I spent like $20 on Levi.
Hmm.
I made something that was $20 look like priceless. Like when I did the shoot, I was like, oh, this looks great.
That's
And
skill. That's skill, definitely.
it was difficult, and I have so many other cosplays. I know that they're gonna be my favorite, but I'm currently working on them right now. Like I know I posted a preview of my Ace. I cosplayed Ace from Alabasta. A lot of work was put into that too. That's one of my favorite cosplays. I haven't even shot that yet, and I know when I shoot that and when I go out there with that cosplay, it's just gonna be great. Ace is definitely gonna be one of those cosplays that I'm gonna love like a lot. I already do. Like the moment I put it on, I was like, I look great. Like this is awesome. I didn't even have my makeup on, and then when I did it, I was like, this looks great. Like
Nice.
when the pandemic is done, I'm just so excited to show off cosplays that I've been waiting to wear, that I've been working on, but COVID's out here playing games, and Ford is out here also playing games with me. But oh, yeah, I would say a lot. Like when I do come back into the cosplay scene, there's gonna be a different image for my account u.wild. Whatever people have seen before on my account, I'm gonna take it a step up. There's definitely gonna be different content. It's gonna be a lot better. It's gonna be a lot more detailed stuff that you wouldn't expect. And I'm just really excited to show people what I've been working on, what's been sitting in my room for like a year.
Soon come. I'm very excited to see what you do because, like, even the way you're explaining it, I can tell that you put so much effort into this cosplay, and I'm very sure it's going to look great.
Thank you. I'm just so excited. It's gonna be a lot of One Piece, a lot of Fire Emblem Three Houses. There's gonna be some JoJo in there. I'm gonna be doing things that I never dreamed of doing before, like just doing things outside of like my comfort zone. Because a lot of people, they saw me cosplay mostly females, but now I feel like I want to cosplay more males, and I did want to do that in the past, but I felt very, very insecure about it. I thought like I'm not gonna look good, I'm gonna look stupid, I don't want to do it. But surprisingly, quarantine has helped me regain this confidence where it's like, you know what, like I'll look good as anything. I just need to put effort into it and do my best. So there's definitely gonna be different content for me when the time comes, for sure.
That kind of leads me to the last question that I wanted to ask you. What tips do you have for other cosplayers?
Tips I have for other cosplayers. I would say cosplay for yourself. Don't cosplay for anyone else. If you cosplay solely for other people's expectations, it's gonna be your downfall. Like you're not gonna have a good time. I would recommend newer cosplayers to cosplay for themselves. Do what cosplays you want to do. Don't feel pressured by what other people do. When you see someone else, let's say on Instagram, you see their cosplay, don't feel discouraged because their cosplay is nice or better than yours. It should inspire you to be like, oh my god, like one day, like I want to cosplay like that too, with that amount of detail, and be able to, let's say, do that makeup or do wigs like that. I don't like seeing cosplayers feel discouraged by other people who are having a good time, who are doing what they love. I don't like people who feel like they should quit cosplay just because someone's better than them. It should be like a fire for you. It should be like a drive. Like, you know what? Like, I aspire to be like this one day. Maybe if I work really hard, I could do my makeup like this and do that and so forth. But mainly, I want cosplayers. I really want them just to do things for them. Don't live in other people's expectations. Don't be discouraged because you feel like someone else's cosplay is better than yours. And I would also like to encourage cosplayers is to make smart decisions. Like I said before about photographers, make smart decisions when you do shoots with people. I would love it for newer cosplayers to look into it, ask around, because unfortunately the photography community is not the best here. So I would advise people who are getting into photography to get someone they're comfortable with shooting, or to at least do their research. And I believe that's about it. And besides that, just like I said, have fun. Like don't cosplay shouldn't be tiring. If it's something you love, it shouldn't be tiring. So don't feel the need to overwork yourself and take on like a bunch of projects. Just take your time, like one step at a time. Like the cosplay scene's not going nowhere.
Sound advice. And advice that I agree with too. I want to say thank you so much. This was an awesome interview. Kai, you're a great person, and you not only have a lot of great viewpoints on the community and how it can improve, but just your passion for cosplay, for anime, and for games. It's so bright and fun, and you are hilarious as well.
Oh, thank you. I had so much fun. Like I won't lie, I was a bit nervous because I'm kind of awkward, and if the other person is not, if they don't talk a lot or they don't reciprocate me well, I get a little awkward. But honestly, like it was fun talking to you. Like you had so many great topics, and it was just it felt relaxed. I didn't feel nervous for once, like talking to someone I don't know, like in an interview. So I thank you for creating a comfortable environment, and for bringing up like awesome topics. Like honestly, I couldn't ask for better topics. This was wonderful.
I appreciate hearing that, especially from you, because like I was looking at your page for a little while before I decided to message you, and it's like I need to come with the right approach because I really want this person on my channel. Like I'm going to make this work no matter what, and this interview was better than I imagined it would have been. So thank you for being an awesome person, and my guests make it easy for me to carry and hold and create a great environment. So thank you. Kai, is there anything that you would like to plug?
Well, I'd like to plug my Instagram. First of all, my Instagram is u.wild. I'm not pumping a lot of content right now, but you know, from time to time, I put out what I put out. Mostly, obviously, cosplay stuff. Occasionally, I'll post art. Occasionally, I'll do fashion photos because right now that's the most accessible thing to me, doing fashion stuff. So there's a lot of that, a lot of daily stuff, a lot of cosplay. So if anyone's interested in seeing cosplay / fashion / artwork, yeah, u.wild is the place to be. I also have a Twitter. I don't do much on there besides post memes, but if you like memes and if you like to see my dog, my Twitter is Jivon Cherry, and it is wild up in there. I am more active on there since there's not much to do on Instagram these days, but yeah, people who are interested in chatting with me or just seeing other stuff, a different side of me, Twitter, Jivon Cherry. And besides that, you can add me on Final Fantasy Online. I play an Aether Gilgamesh. If you'd like to play with me, you can DM me on u.wild, and I'll be more than happy to play with you because I spend a majority of my time there. Please come game with me. I don't stream, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll stream. But for now, come game with me.
Links will be in the description below.
Thank you so much. Thank you for choosing me. I feel so honored. Thank you so much.
You are the chosen one. Everyone, this was Kero Riripado. Thank you for coming by. Take care.